The people of France are done, and the majority of citizens are saying enough is enough. They're putting their foots down to Macron's globalistic policy that has been exposed to the public. With the gas price going up without any consent, brutal takedowns on peaceful protesters, and an overuse of water cannons, rubber bullets, and then there's also an overuse on tear gas canisters, one that actually really harmed somebody. An old lady, she died from it. She was 80 years old. She ended up accidentally getting hit by one of these canisters. So it is very, very serious on what's going on. The movement behind 3 weeks of protest declared that it wanted more tax decreases from the France leaders and said that they're not going to stop until they come to that agreement. So, in order to come to that agreement, they're not going to accept petty crumbs. That's what the people are saying. Moving on, earlier today, hundreds of yellow vests were actually detained for attempting to march on the presidential palace. During the middle of the morning, there was approximately 343 people that were arrested from police officers altogether in Paris. Authorities deployed numerous armored vehicles and actually had 8,000 police officers all just in within the capital. What a lot of people are talking about, and I'd say one of the biggest highlights that have happened recently within the last week during these protests is having to do with high schoolers actually. There was a bad video that I think came out. It was rather humiliating, and it had a lot of high schoolers with their hands over their heads. Like they looked like hostages, just circled around on the ground. I did not like this at all because, I don't know why they got in trouble, but I couldn't imagine what a group of these high schoolers were doing. It's that bad compared to every single thing that's going on in the whole entire city. So, this is not good. In this video, you can clearly see high school students with their hands over their heads kneeling against a wall during mass roundups. You can look up the video for yourself, but after watching the video, personally, I believe that they should have handled this with a lot more sensitivity. I mean, you are dealing with younger students. Last week, there was a popular video that was trending, and now this video showed one side it had police officers, the other side it had a bunch of protesters, and something really cool happened. All of a sudden, the police officers took off their helmets to show that they had solidarity within the people, that they weren't going to hurt them and they weren't going to do anything because basically they were coming together and they were on their side. I feel like the police are also sick of Macron as well because this is also affecting their lives. So they're having their wallets being drained completely. They're experiencing hardship. So when they start seeing people protest, I mean, they're like, wow, I really don't want to try to make things worse off for myself. Now, I actually have another video that I want to talk about, and I know it's the last video. I'm bringing up a lot of different videos that I saw, but hey, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. So pretty much the same day of the video that was released with the cops from one side and then, coming together with the protesters, here's another one. In this video, you can see firefighters turning their backs to the elected reps and pretty much just saying, screw the political elite right now. The firefighters don't want to go against their own people either, just like the police. So they would rather just fight fires. When you give them a situation like that to end up blasting off water cannons and hoses at people to keep protesters calm, then no, they're not going to deal with that. I believe that the violence will continue on if Macron doesn't resign from his position of power. I don't think that the people, he has way too low, drastically low of approval rating right now to be in any position of power in France. Only 18% of people actually living in the area approve of him being in a position of power. The majority of people, they don't want him to be in power. That's not fair to the people, so therefore he should resign. Nothing has really changed to begin with because the gas tax, that was actually just suspended for 6 months. So, 6 months, it's going to reappear like nothing ever happened, and the same problem, that's going to just show up again. It should just be repealed. In Paris, a gallon of gas goes for roughly $7 to $8. So it's not even affordable. People can't even go to work and come home and be able to really afford their daily living anymore. So it's become that big of a problem. I saw this video earlier. I don't know if it's really throughout the whole area. It was just kind of this one video that I saw from Rebel Media. I don't really like Rebel Media that much, but hey, you gotta watch everything to see everything. They had a clip and they were next to a market. One of the markets, it was kind of like broken into from different people. People were stealing food, rotten food off of the ground that, you can't even really eat, but these people are bringing rotten food home because it is that bad. Well, I'm definitely going to be following the story on what's going on with Paris. I'm very interested. I want to see if any other changes are going to be made, if any other cuts will be made with people so that they could finally reach better agreements that are much more reasonable and definitely have that horrible gas tax be just repealed, get rid of that completely. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to be having new videos, so stay tuned and I'll catch you next time.